Right, in case you've missed all the sneaky social media teasers like these, McLaren are now in the golf space. That's right, McLaren, famous for things like this, and this, are now fully entering the golf club equipment manufacturing space. So as an equipment tester, I have been brimming with excitement about this release. We've got some of the best R&D departments, we've got some of the best tech people, we've got knowledge coming out of every orifice here. So I was really excited to see what they are gonna come up with. So I've got my grubby little mitts on their first release, the Series 3 irons. So let's take a look and see what they're all about. But before we get into the review itself, in terms of hitting these and giving you all the feedback there, I just want to start on a slightly disappointed note. I've been looking forward to this launch for so long, as I said, as a tester. And I was hoping for, and this is through no fault of McLaren's, they've not promised anything, but what I was expecting was a full product range. 14 clubs, driver all the way down to putters. That's what I had in my head. And what we've got, although that's coming, I'm sure that is coming from McLaren, what we've got for now is just an iron release, but we haven't even got a full iron release. What we've got is the Series 3 irons I've got here, which are a game improvement iron, and we've got a Series 1 iron, which is more of a muscle back blade, and that's been designed in collaboration with Justin Rose, Ian Poulter, Michelle Wee West. Pros really know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, so it's very much a better player iron. But we haven't got a Series 2, so the iron that bridges the gap between the game improver and the blade doesn't exist yet. And furthermore, the Series 1 I haven't been given to test. That's going to be on its way. McLaren are saying they're trying to stagger the release to kind of maintain the interest and maintain the intrigue. So for this massive launch that I've been all excited about, for all intents and purposes, what I've got is one game improvement iron. Now, just to address the elephant in the room here that I'm sure you're all probably wondering, the price tag of these irons is £360 or $375 per iron. So we're looking at around £2,600 for a 7 iron set. Now, to put that into context, that's more expensive than the Cobra 3DP range, than most sets of Muras. Just let all that sink in for a minute. So on to the tech story. Now, this is the bit where McLaren, for me, were going to claw back all these brownie points and create some never before seen technology that was going to absolutely blow my mind. So what is that technology? Well, there kind of isn't any of that never before seen stuff. What we've got, the main tech stories are metal injection molding, so it's not forged, it's not cast. But that's been done before by companies like Callaway, Cobra in irons and wedges. We've got this structural mesh in the back here, which has been designed to save weight, so you can redistribute that around the club head to optimize CG and MOI and all those good things. But we've kind of seen that very recently in the Cobra 3DP lineup. We've also got a lot of tungsten behind strike here, which, for those of you who know your golf clubs, will know the Callaway Apex range, for example. That's been a mainstay of the tech in the Apex range for some time. Finally, we've got tungsten in the toe section, and again, I won't bore you, but there's numerous irons that utilize that technology within their setup to increase that MOI. So it leaves me thinking, you know, what's the point? As I said, we're coming into this space with all of the best tech people, aerodynamics, wind tunnels, whatever you can imagine, I would think at McLaren. So I was expecting to see something incredibly new, but essentially from a tech point of view at least, what we've got is amalgamation of other technologies we've already seen. So I'll be really interested to see how they perform. Right, so performance. Now, truth be told, this isn't my first look, this isn't my first session. I didn't want to make this video without feeling like I had a good grasp of what these irons were. So I think I've already kind of formulated my opinion. So what we've got, as I said in the intro, is essentially, it's game improvement. This iron is designed to help you. It's designed to put maximum MOI, increase the hitting area, help you get the ball up in the air. It's everything you expect from a game improvement iron. And quite frankly, it does a really good job. Now, I'm going to get onto some more positive stuff now, because the feel off the club face is very, very good. It's really premium. It's very soft, and you can't always say that in the game improvement market. Sometimes you get those kind of clicky irons, sort of really hollow feeling irons, but while I said the sort of metal injection molding process has been done, what it has done here is created a real refinement to strike, a real depth of strike. The ball feels like it's on the club face for a long time, and it's a nice muted hit. It's not kind of that brash strike you often get in the game improvement market. So from a feel point of view, that's really good. The other thing And you can probably see it here. I'll get that zoomed in a little while. The turf interaction is really good. So the heel cut sole that they've gone with, it's helping the club slip through nicely, enters the turf really easily, but more importantly, exits the turf really easily. So from the sort of unquantifiable standpoint of feel and turf interaction and all that kind of stuff, it's really very good. So in terms of specifications, we've got, they're not the strongest game improvement irons you'll see. Quite often we see things like 28, 29 degrees 7 irons. They've gone a bit more modest in lofting here with the Series 3. So this 7 iron comes in at 31 degrees. So it's kind of equivalent to a TaylorMade P790, a Srixon ZX i5. And interesting that it is very similar in loft to that Srixon ZX i5, because when I was comparing my average numbers with some other models to see, kind of give you a decent comp of what these irons are, the best I could come up with was a Srixon ZX i5. The numbers are almost identical in terms of launch, carry, spin, and consistency of spin, which is really key, which I'll pop that up on there as well, because the standard deviation is really tight. So from a performance point of view, these actually stack up really nicely. They're not going to blow your mind with explosive distance, but they are going to give you a good level of forgiveness, and they're going to give you a much more refined strike than you might be used to in this game improvement department. Right, sorry to interrupt. I hope you're enjoying this video and learning all about these McLaren irons. But if you are enjoying the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more of these videos. It really helps us out, and let us know what you think about them in the comments down below. Right, so let's get on to the looks. Now, I've deliberately left this one till last because I think this is going to be a very Marmite sort of a topic, and I wanted to give you lots of b-roll and lots of shots throughout the video so you could begin to get your kind of impressions before I gave you mine. Now, we all know these look sections are so subjective. What one man or one woman thinks looks gorgeous, the other one will think looks terrible. And now this has never been demonstrated better than between myself and Dan behind the camera there. Dan pulled them out straight away and said, "Oh, smart looking iron these." Sadly for me, I'm a little bit on the other end of the bandwagon. I think McLaren had an opportunity here to create something really sleek, refined and minimal. What's come out, in my opinion, is just a little bit busy and brash. We've got an awful lot going on with the look of the heads here. So we've got the structural mesh, as I've spoken about already. We've got the, to me, orange McLaren logo there, the tungsten weighting, the carbon. There's quite a lot going on. Now, a lot of you will be screaming, well, that's McLaren. McLaren is bold and brash. Look at the cars, look at the tech that's going on in there. They wanted to show that off, and I get that. I totally get it. It's just not my cup of tea, and that's why it's always subjective. The other thing that I don't love, but again, some people probably will, is the numbering. We've got this kind of digital alarm clock style numbering. Now, for me, that doesn't belong on a golf club. It doesn't look great. For some of you out there, you're probably looking at that and thinking, brilliant, that gives me all of the technical connotations and thoughts that I want to see. That might be exactly what you want to see. It just doesn't do it for me. And then in behind the ball, well, that's again kind of a mixed section for me. There's some really good points and there's some stuff that I would definitely change. The longer irons I think look really good. There's plenty of blade length, there's plenty of substance behind the ball, and the shaping's okay at the top end of the bag. As you go down to the mid and short irons, again, just for me, this is all subjective. They have the appearance of being a bit more upright than they actually are. And what I mean by that is the heel comes in quite low in terms of the shaping, and the toe is very, very high. So when you're looking down on the golf ball, it feels like the club's pretty much tilted back at you. So it gives the appearance of more upright than it actually is. And I think that's a look that might put a few people off, but it's also a look that some people might absolutely love. So again, a little bit Marmite for me in this whole aesthetics of this release. So I think you can probably tell from the tone of what I've gone through there, I'm not quite all in on this first iron release from McLaren. There's plenty of good stuff to talk about. The performance was reassuringly solid, but I would expect that. It was a really nice depth of strike, refined, soft. The turf interaction was great, and the numbers were good and very, very consistent. But on the negative side of things, for me, and again, for me, this is all personal, the looks just didn't quite do it for me. Just a little bit too brash and out there for me. The lack of innovation was a little bit disappointing to me. Now, McLaren might argue with that, but I think a lot of this technology I've seen before. And obviously the price tag is going to be quite prohibitive for some. I was hoping for a full all-encompassing range. We haven't quite got that yet. I just need to be patient. Again, that's not McLaren's fault. But what I think we potentially have got, maybe from this first iron release, is a bit more of a status purchase than I was hoping for. I was hoping that this set of irons would be backed up by some really good high-end technology that I'd not seen before, that would give me a reason to go out and spend an awful lot of money on a set of clubs. But what I think we might have ended up with is something we've kind of seen before, where these could end up just as a bit of a status purchase for your players that maybe own a McLaren, or fans of the Formula One brand that are willing to pay over the odds for a product just to be associated with that brand. But in my eyes, in this game improvement department, which is a very competitive iron sector, there's a number of irons that I would play that cost around half the price that would give you very similar performance. But in fairness, that is literally McLaren's first ever release into the golf space, and it is far from bad. And I can tell you, I'm very, very much looking forward to getting my hands on the Series 1 irons. I'll pop those up on the screen for you now. They look a lot better. They look a lot more refined. They're a bit more in my wheelhouse as kind of a better player iron as well. And the likes of Justin Rose, Ian Poulter, Michelle Wee West, they've had their hands on that product and they've had their input. So I've got really high hopes and I'm looking forward to bringing that review to you. Let me know what you think of these in the comments down below. Is this release what you were expecting, or were you looking for something a little different? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.